Now, you guys have 460 sites in the Glam network. You talk to a lot of advertisers. Tell me right now, what's most interesting, what you're seeing in terms of online ad development and trends?
Well, what we see right now is just a tremendous amount of data that we can collect about the ads and the users that see them, and how we can actually leverage this data to provide rich analytics and insight both to the advertisers as well as the publishers to make these brand advertisings more effective for everyone.
And then does that drive up? Are you getting higher CPMs from that then because you have all this data to share with the advertisers?
Of course. So if we make the brand advertising more effective, and again I want to emphasize brands, because it's not just all about clicks and people searching for things and finding things. It's about really how their ads are being perceived and how effective they are to get the right audience that will take the right actions with after seeing those ads. Providing more insight is going to be extremely valuable to the advertisers, therefore increasing the value of those ads and higher CPMs for us.
Now, what about privacy? You made an interesting comment on the panel. We're down here at the Digital Hollywood Conference, and someone raised the question of, what about when ISPs are collecting data, and you seem to think that the most important thing is whether it's personally identifiable information. So where do you think the line is right now for consumers in terms of information that they don't want collected on them?
So I think a really important part is the comfort level of the user. So when you search for a particular product and you see ads about it, it's definitely something that people are very comfortable. Now if you go and read articles and immediately you see things that are directly related to that ad and you're logged in some mode, you probably will become uncomfortable because you may not want other people to know what you're reading, etc. This is a perception thing. So the approach we're taking is that first of all, privacy is extremely important for us, and currently we're really looking at anonymous profiles of users at a very high aggregate level, so that we may know that you might be interested in beauty cosmetics, but we don't really know that you've been looking for a particular brand of lipsticks or hair products on a particular site. We don't really store any of that information, and we can't really tie it to any individual user. It's all anonymous cookies.
And now you've made an interesting comment also about luxury advertisers and how they're sometimes very reluctant to have their ads show up in certain places. So talk a little bit about, is user-generated content, are you able to sell any of that, or is that just can't get any CPMs for that? And
Well, I think user-generated content actually is extremely important. As I mentioned during the panel, a lot of times our advertisers are interested in user-generated content around a particular product. It may not be for high-end products like a Gucci watch or a bag or some Gucci badge, but it could be, for example, for a new computer, or it could be for a new shampoo or a new food type of food, etc. That in fact advertisers are interested to have units that will go in areas. We have a lot of blogs about food and about hair products, so they're very interested in having their products actually being shown in that kind of a context. But obviously you don't see a lot of bloggers or things that talk about a $15,000 necklace from Gucci.
Right. And last question, you were formerly at Yahoo. How's Glam different than Yahoo in terms of both the opportunity and the place to work?
Well, we're similar in the aspect that we're also an online network, and we're pioneering in terms of the vertical network focused on women. Yahoo is much broader in terms of audience, but how we differ is a much more focused, smaller team, and very much focused on brand advertising. And particularly my initiative is to ensure that we make brand advertising more effective by having better targeting, better analytics, and better ways of leveraging our data. So having the smallness and more focused, it was very appealing to me, and the execution is obviously extremely important in this very competitive market.
And last question, can you give any kind of range about what kind of CPMs do you guys see for either user-generated content, and then what do you see when it's high-end brand advertising? Sort of what's the range that advertisers are willing to pay?
I don't know. I think generally you will see ad networks serving below $1, about $1 on these kinds of very broad audiences that go to social networks. So if you've got social networks that are very specific about a particular area of interests like hair or cosmetics, etc., you could treat that potentially as contextually very relevant to the ad. So the CPMs could go up by several dollars, $5, $10, etc., and then you add behavioral targeting, you could go even higher than that.
Okay, Kumar Sezamanian, VP of Advertising Technology with Glam Media. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.